So hello and welcome to another episode of Steven's for Us. As you can see in this episode, I'm out and about and I'm at Cars in the Park in Lichfield. Now, Cars in the Park is one of my absolute favourite events of the year. It attracts hundreds of cars and they're all different types of cars. It was meant to be in July, normally it's the first weekend of July, but this year, instead of cancelling it, because there were still some restrictions about in July, which meant you couldn't have an event this big, they decided to move it till September. Normally actually the weather is fantastic in July, normally you strike quite lucky for it, but this time the weather wasn't quite as good, but it still didn't stop from having a good time. As you can see, I'm currently taking a little walk around the Mercedes-Benz club stand, which had almost 30 cars on there. As you can see, there's a lot of different variety of cars. We had a couple of classic cars, and we also had a lot more sort of modern machinery on offer as well. And as you can see, tucked at the very end of the stand was my very own SLK. And of course it wouldn't be a classic car show if there wasn't a R107 SL on display. This particular one was absolutely stunning. Personally, I prefer them in signal red if you're a particular fan of a certain popular TV show from the 80s of Dallas. You remember a red SL featured in there. It wasn't just cars on the club stand that took my eye, there was also this lovely looking GLA 45 AMG, which are actually quite rare cars, you don't see many around, and it really just caught my eye, just being something a little bit different. And continuing the AMG theme, and rare AMG theme for that, this here was a W202 C43 AMG. That's a bit of a mouthful. But you really don't see many of these AMG cars though, but in very low numbers and not many have survived. And now for an SLK, it's a little bit more common in the AMG range, was a 55 AMG. Again, maybe a little bit more common but still just as stunning and just as powerful. And finally I stumbled across these two SLKs, these are R170 model. This particular one I don't think shows up quite that well on the screen, but there's a fantastic dark green colour, which I've never actually seen one in this colour before. It seems a little rarer. Not only did you have this car, but you also had another one which was a pre-facelift one of the earlier models in this fantastic bright green colour. Someone did say to me what the colour was, but I can't remember what it was, and it also had matching interior. Not only is it had AMG wheels, it also had the AMG body kit, which are quite rare for these pre-facelift models. Moving on to the enemy, which I do like to talk about occasionally, I'm not just a Mercedes man, was this fantastic BMW 1M, which again you don't see that many of, and I absolutely love the colour of this, and I really love seeing the little details like the extended rear arches. And now on to something completely different but still very German. This is obviously a very early Beetle. I don't know the exact year of it, but I would say it's probably late 50s, early 60s one. And absolutely gorgeous car, this in gorgeous condition. I love the colour combination. And overall I just thought this car looked so cute and very much a stereotypical Beetle. And now for something completely different. Absolutely lovely, very modified Volkswagen Jetta here. I just love the sort of very 80s decal and the retro look that this car had. Very much up and coming car is this Mark III Golf. This is a VR6 and it's very rare now. I love the colour of it, I love that it's got leather interior as well, very nicely specced up, and I definitely think this is a future classic and one to look out for. Now moving neatly on, this brings us to the Mark IV Golf, and this one's an R32, so this was the sort of spiritual successor to the Mark III that we just saw, and again these are really starting to go up in value now, and I think these are definitely a future classic and one to keep an eye on. Next to it was this fantastic, again another future classic Audi TT. This particular one was the larger 3.2 litre V6. Obviously it comes with quattro four-wheel drive as well, and I do think this is one of the nicest cars and one of the cars that actually hasn't aged as much as well. I still think these cars still look good today and still look quite modern. Next we move on to something a little bit more British on this lineup of Austin Sprites and MG Midgets. Now I don't really usually look at MG Minis, because you do see a lot of them around, but I did see this one which really caught my eye. Not only was it particularly because of the colour, but also because it was this really nice rally edition. Similarly, this MG TF also caught my eye. As you can see, it's got upgraded brakes and a few other little modifications. I particularly like the headrests and the seat belts on there. And again, it's a little bit different, a little bit of a sort of rally spec one, this. Now following on for that little MG theme here, we have two ZTs. Now I have to admit I have quite a soft spot for these. I'm not too sure why. They are basically the modified Rover 75, upgraded suspension, upgraded engines, things like that. And I just really like, I think they're a little bit different. Again, might be a future classic one day. And here's quite a rare car today. This is a Morris Marina. Not many of these cars survive, and this particular one, well, the reason I like it is because it's honesty. It wears its battle scars with pride. Another rare car was this Talbot Samba convertible, which had been lightly modified with some Mercedes seats. And the only reason I knew that because someone else on our stand actually had the same seats. But overall, a really nice car in absolutely great condition. Now here's a car I haven't seen for a while. This is a Alfa Romeo 147 GTA, and actually I've forgotten that these had a V6 engine. This particular one was in absolutely fantastic condition, obviously well looked after. And the final car I'm going to show you today was this Buick Century. Now I absolutely love these 1950s cars. I think they have such style and also such size. I do like the accessory here for the accelerator, and you know a car is big when it's a very long walk around. So that's just a little selection of the cars that are on offer. There was absolutely hundreds of cars there, and I really couldn't go around just showing you videos of all of them because we'd be here all day. So that's my little selection of my personal favourites. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, and also you comment if you want to comment or say anything. Any suggestions for future videos, anything like that. Don't forget I'm also doing my Q&A session to put any of those questions that you have in the comments below. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye from the SLK, and we will see you both very soon.